Welcome back to the GSL Codes. We are having some really interesting, in-depth technical games here today. Gumiho losing 0-2. I have to say I was a little bit surprised by that. I don't think everybody was, but I really expected Gumiho to at least win one of the games, but more likely two. But Alive just dominated with safer, more efficient, theoretically, applicably better play.
Yes, he was better in every way. Alive deserves to advance. He outplayed Curious. He played the best TBT today. By far, godly TBT.
Yeah, he outclassed MVP, actually.
I absolutely did. Now we get to see which of these two badasses gets a shot going around A, and who goes down to Code A.
We're going to see, man. It could be MVP. He's not playing that well today. Maybe those two games are just flukes, but I really would have expected MVP to beat Gumiho. Curious having a frustrating series against Alive. It's been quite a day, Artosis.
As indeed. Can Curious take out MVP again? We will see.
All right, well, we're going to see very soon as the game is now loaded. So who will win? Curious, the underdog, or MVP, the #1 ranked player here in the GSL Codes? We're going to find out soon. Actually, we're going to find out in 3 seconds. So that'll go in my list of the worst outros I've ever done. This is the GSL Codes. Artosis and Tasteless like to have hot six.
Yeah.
Now, in the bottom left, in the red, our only Zerg, his ID is...
Starting Curious.
In the upper right, in the blue, the #1 ranked player in the GSL, he is...
I am MVP.
MVP. Let's see if his mouth is open when he's playing. Yep. Oh, gonna close it for a second. The Bailey nerd.
It's coming open again.
It's coming open, catching the krill nerds.
He's kind of like a Venus flytrap. It like closes suddenly when you touch it, and then it like opens slowly again.
Yeah, man.
All right, so
whoa. We got a Macarax right away.
Proxy, kind of.
Actually, well...
It looks... You know what that is?
But it's going to be floated back to the expansion.
That is actually to catch an Overlord. That is what that is, Tasteless. He's going to make a Marine and float that barracks and catch this Overlord.
I think his build... as far as metagames go, it's like... We're going to see this build catch on more and more to catch Overlords, and then the result is going to be like...
Overlords change their pattern.
Yeah, or certain builds to try to just get to the barracks right away.
You send a drone right there?
You send a drone there? Yeah,
exactly. That's funny. If that happened, I would just giggle. And... an SCV sees the Overlord. Guess if that Overlord's going to die. Yes, it's going to die, Tasteless.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why I ask these dumb questions. All right, spawning pool on the way.
And Curious is like, oh, God.
Well, he's definitely going to, once he realizes it, because he's saying to himself right now, okay, just get over these rocks, and I'll be fine. And then, does he see the barracks yet?
Yeah, he saw it.
All right.
And now,
no!
Look at that. Perfectly done by MVP. He truly prepared for this map.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now Curious is unhappy.
Still curious, though.
He's curious as to why MVP is so good.
I'm actually surprised more Zergs at this level have not started changing their Overlord scout patterns.
I wonder if he hit that exact thing yet, though. Because think about it, right? This is a newer map.
Yeah.
We haven't had this used all that much. It's never been ladder or anything like that. So, of course, he's been practicing it probably quite a bit lately. But did anyone on his specific practice in the past 2 weeks?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Is it... That's probably what it came down to. It's just like, I guarantee you he plays there again, he's going to be much more careful about that Overlord. Send that maybe in a different way. It's going to cross his mind. But if it's the first time you see it, you're like, oh, of course. Ah, crap.
All right, so... The Zerglings are now out. Map control is given to the Zerg player. Generally speaking, in this phase of the game, it's actually why we see Hellion openers so often, because that way they can, just drive out the Zerglings. And this expansion for MVP is moments away from finishing as well. See, it like started flying while still in the build animation. Damn. That's dangerous. There's got to be laws about that, Artosis.
All the planks falling off and stuff.
Yeah. So, for the meantime, Zerg is going to continuously larva inject, get drones, try to build up that economy, push out creep tumors, and he'll have to wait until the Terran ultimately sends, very nice control, by the way, by MVP, will ultimately have to send those Hellions, which, at this point in time, it's very predictable. This is not like a certain stylistic build. It's just what most Terrans do. Send those Hellions out and try to wipe out the creep tumors.
I'm curious right now. His layer on the way. Getting a spine crawler up, getting that creep pushed out as quickly and as far as he can possibly get it. Oh, and the third command center by MVP. This is something we've seen more and more lately.
Yeah, we have.
And, you know, I kind of like it. It's quite useful.
Now, as you can see, the win rate here is pretty different. I mean, MVP, understandably so, has got an unbelievably good win rate overall. Curious has had a tough time early on in the GSL. I think this is kind of the moment where he's going to have to prove himself here at Codes. So we'll see how much farther he can get.
Well, Curious getting his family nest, getting that evolution chamber. Pretty similar builds to what we've seen him do before. MVP, though, not playing really like Alive. Alive definitely played a different brand. Oh, MVP getting a second factory. There's a decent chance it'll be mech. Doesn't necessarily
could
have
be
to be
Blue Flame Hellions,
yeah,
just
could just be
barreling in there.
A lot of Blue Flame Hellions. But you know, he's also getting his armory. I would venture to say I think he's going to go mech here, and that's pretty cool. You know, mech versus Zerg, it happens from time to time. Every Terran seems to mix it in a little bit. You know, even Marine King has done it. Gumiho is actually someone who's done a decent amount of mech against Zerg, famously beating Nesty with it in WCG.
Now, well, we got okay. It is going to be a Blue Flame Hellions. I didn't want to give too much more analysis just in case you're wrong. So he is going to go for it. Now, the Zerg is going for a very quick Spire. So he'll have to time this out pretty well. I mean, because the mutas are out, then the Hellions just are nowhere near as useful anymore.
Well, you know, he might be going for Blue Flame Hellion Thor for a little bit. The Karn build.
That's what he could do, the Karn build, absolutely.
You know, 3-base Karn build is quite strong, quite nice. We've seen that from time to time. In fact, Gumiho did that in his last group, I do believe, on Entombed Valley, where he mixed in some Marauders as well.
Oh, yeah, he did that variation one.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see what MVP's plan is for it. He is starting his Thor production already. 8 mutas on the way. So
far, everything looks pretty kosher here as for a Hellion build on the Zerg's end, because these aren't... Oh, my God! Oh, run!
You know who's
Drive, whatever.
And
okay, well, that's good for him. He's at least going to keep most of the Hellions alive.
Oh, and
nip that Hellion
very smartly.
All right, so we have the Blue Flame Hellion upgrade just now completing. So if those Hellions attack, the hand is tipped. But Mutalisks are already out. Uh-oh. A lot of these Hellions taking a lot of damage. Ouch. Now, yeah, I think you're right, Artosis. Actually, it's going to be mixed up a little bit. He's going to go for the Karn build. Exactly. Nice job here getting some SCVs.
Yeah, some nice little harassment there.
Basically, this is a build where if the Zerg doesn't respond and catch on what's happening right away, there's just a bunch of Hellions and Thors out, and they don't have the right unit composition because all the Zerglings die to the Hellions. The Mutalisks will die to a couple Thors.
Yeah.
And, Banelings, obviously, Thors can take Baneling damage very easily.
Indeed.
Although, I'm worried because MVP is losing so many Hellions and not really trading much with it.
Well, I think MVP is going to turn on 3-base instead of hit the 2-base kind of all-any attack that we sometimes see with this. And that's pretty smart. You know, but at the same time, it gives Curious time to switch up his tech if need be, which, you know, I feel like it probably is need be. If the attack comes just Thor Hellion, then he's going to need Roach. But if he tries to go Roach and MVP switches into Mass Siege Tank, then it becomes pretty sticky. So Curious right now, staying on the mutas, getting that +1 carapace.
Oh, man. That's why the mutas are not good in this situation.
It's
also
pretty hard to harass against Thors, man. Their
Yeah,
range is pretty long.
I was about to say that. It's hard to just like kind of poke in there and see what you can't kill. Because unlike the Marines, where you hear the stim, then you see them running, and by then you're already out of there. You just get blindsided with a Thor volley.
Well, I love Curious's expansion down there in the bottom right. Very smart. It's very
Looks
far
like
away.
He's got his +1 attack done.
Takes a long time to actually attack different corners of the map. So that's something you oftentimes want to do against a slower moving army like a mech army. But still no siege tanks. It looks like he's just staying completely on Thor Hellion.
Well, the Roach Warren has just started, so I mean, there's gonna be some time before roaches can be out.
Indeed. But you know, his macro is going to be pretty out of control when it finally does get there. Actually, he didn't make macro hatch at all. I'm looking around for it. It doesn't exist.
Did he not?
He did not.
How many drones does he have?
He has 77. Good amount.
Yep, it's a very good amount. Uh-oh, but taking some more damage here. He did lose a few mutas there.
Yeah.
I kind of expected him to turn around. That's why I didn't even start to play-by-play it when I was trying to do the analysis. And then he actually took some hits. So the Mutalisks are obviously being very ineffective.
Yeah. But, you know what? Curious has made some Banelings. I'm trying to find where they are on the map.
They're at the expansion?
Yeah. And, you know, Banelings obviously can be quite nice. Excuse me. Against Hellions on creep. Especially when you have the speed like he does. But also, as we did see, I remember a game of mech against Nest-T on Belshir where, you know, the Thors got really clumped and the Baneling Splash actually ended up allowing Nest-T to kill off the entire mech army with Banelings.
Yeah, that was
Will something
funny.
like that occur here? Or will MVP keep it spread well?
Damn. He is so good at wiping out these Hellions. I've lost count of how many Hellions have been killed this game, Artosis.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. But we do have Siege Tank production on the way. We also actually have Packaging Lands on the way for Infestors. But against this sweet Siege Tank... I can't speak.
Poor guy, man.
Against this Siege Tank switch, it's going to be kind of difficult for either Infestors, Banelings, anything of the sort to get anywhere near this army.
The Mutas now coming in doing a lot of damage to all these turrets over here. The SCVs do evacuate in time, and really it's okay if you lose the turrets as long as you don't lose the SCVs. And, you know, Curious timed that out pretty well. He knew that the Thor would be there around that moment.
MVP is getting another command center, kind of getting ready to take another
It looks
base.
like he's going to get these Banelings at the top center, and as the mech army moves out, he's going to send them in and kill off SCVs.
Not a bad choice. You know, if you kill the economy, then all you have to do is kill the army one time. Well, against mech, normally that's all you have to do anyway, is kill that army one time. It's basically very difficult to re-max on mech.
Well, when you look at the number of factories you have on mech versus the number of barracks, your army's going to come out.
And it's
the mech units
slow
make
building.
slower. Yeah.
They all cost more. And
all right, so once again he goes in there. He sees that might be too many turrets. He can't confirm where the Thors are either.
He's even getting high-sec auto-tracking at this point. Gives additional range, of course, to those turrets. Help out against the Mutas quite a bit. Second Spire on the way. A lot of Spines. And the Greater Spire.
Uh-oh, here he goes with the Banelings. He's going to try to get the SCVs. MVP snap response.
Wow, that was very
That was
quick.
really nice.
So well done. And really not a lot of damage dealt there. Both players now maxed.
It would have hurt if you're a Zerlian to be shot by the Thor gun.
Yeah, that right, Tasis.
All right, it looks like MVP is not going to try to save his base. He's going to try to push forward. He's going to try to take out perhaps the main, perhaps the expansion. It's hard to say so far.
Well,
That's Banelings coming again.
This is a very important timing right now for MVP. He has to keep moving forward because that Greater Spire is about to finish. 10 Corruptors about to pop out. If he gets a ton of
SCVs
Broodlords,
repairing the Thor, not enough.
But yeah, if you know, the Broodlords actually finish morphing, then MVP is in a lot of trouble.
He's going to morph him right now. Now, can this army get in there in time? As you can see, softening up all of those Thors so that they'll die that much quicker. It looks like the Banelings might get out in time. He scans, he doesn't see them.
Oh, man.
How many is that? Is that 5?
Yeah, it looks like he's only morphing 5 right now. Unfortunately for him, he lost all his overlords, so he's at 166 of 74 supply. He can't make any more units for quite some time.
Oh, more Banelings win here.
And that's what he needs to do. He needs to take out anything he possibly can right now. More and more overlords still going down.
All right, this is the smart choice. Your army can move faster than broodlords, so you might as well back up.
And the Mutas magic boxing. These Thors have been hurt already. There are 1-1 upgrades on those Mutas, so not too bad.
Still, he's got to be careful.
Well, with the air army that we have right now for Curious, looks like MVP does have to run away. Curious looking like he's in great shape right now.
All right, he's going to send these Hellions over here, but will he micro them well enough to hold off these Banelings? The answer is no. I bet if you're a Thor and you're being attacked by a Broodlord or Broodling, it probably just tickles. But like that kind of hurt tickle, you're like, ow, stop.
Oh, it's like when your dad tickles you.
Yeah, yes, it's like when your dad tickles you, yes. All right, so there is a lot of Broodlords out, guys, and this might be a mistake because there's a bunch of Vikings being made. Those Mutalisks are all softened up.
Well, you know,
MVP, a lot of Vikings,
yeah, and it needs to be, really. You know, the upgrades in the favor of Curious as far as Viking versus Muta. I do like the fact that he's trying to be mobile right now with his Thor army and get around and actually kill some stuff off.
MVP's doing the exact right thing, getting all these spine crawlers up.
You know, the only thing less mobile than Thor's is Broodlords. So
yeah, that's actually
he's
true.
actually running around the map. You know, mobility, normally you'd be like, well, Thors aren't good for running around the map. Attacking things are slow, but it's all relative. If you're against Broodlords, sure, man, why not? But will he get out of there in time? I don't think he will. That is a lot of broods.
Oh, man, and the Hellions or the Thors are bulky enough that they can't quite be microed around the broods, so that's a lot of losses there. Meanwhile, Zergling's coming here doing a lot of damage to these SCVs, and every single Thor is basically being it's been destroyed, and now the Vikings have been cornered here.
Yeah, they have a nice little flank with the Corruptors coming up.
And that's all that Curious needed to win that game.
Yeah, that's it, man. MVP at 59 supply. Curious, 161. Curious has taken it. It's basically over.
It's almost impossible. I can't believe
it is impossible.
I can't believe that MVP stayed there and tried to kill the drones. He should have gotten that hatchery and booked it out of there.
You're right. In hindsight, absolutely he should have, but that's what it is, man. Hindsight, always 2020.
Yeah. Mine is like 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
when I was younger, I actually had like perfect eyesight. Now my eyesight's 2025 or something? Like,
yeah, mine's a little bit off. I don't need glasses yet.
Are you supposed to wear glasses at 2025?
Barely not.
Barely not, all right.
Well, no, actually, I don't know your numbers exactly, but I know your eyesight is, like, almost the same as mine.
Yeah. Well, then we're going to have to only just get hipster glasses that don't have the lenses. That's all we're going to have to settle for, Tosis. All right. Now, the Hellions doing some damage here. This is kind of pitiful to watch MVP in this state because he's, like, so behind. If you'll notice, there's a giant expansion at the upper left and an expansion about to finish at the bottom right. How the hell, with a not very mobile army, are you going to hit both those locations?
Yeah, you know, right now MVP is just kind of making as many Vikings as he can, as well as Hellions. He figures, okay, if I get enough Hellions, right, I can run around and kill drones and hurt his economy. Then if I micro well enough, I kite well enough with these Vikings, maybe I can kill everything else. But there's Infestors out now, too. No Siege Inks to deal with them. MVP, he's trying what he thinks might be able to work, which is smart.
Well, he's splitting everything up, if you notice. He's basically hitting a whole bunch of different locations so that way the Broodlords can't defend everything. Is this going to work? I don't know, to be totally honest. It looks like he will get this expansion. Where are the Broodlords? Oh, they're moving up now. He needs to run. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Indeed, and he will. And now he knows, there's Infestors out. And Infestor, Corruptor, Broodlord. Pretty darn good combo, as we've seen in the past.
Yeah. Now, note that, you know, for our Zerg player at the upper left base and the bottom right base, he's not really mining that much from there. Just because you have an expansion doesn't mean that, you know, you're utilizing it. So, you know, in that sense, MVP is doing a pretty good job of throwing a wrench in the economy here of Furious. Oh, man, this is not good positioning here. These Zerglings are going to clean this up easily.
And, oh.
No, nice control, actually.
Great upgrades on those Hellions, helping them out quite a bit as well.
Let me check. I want to see what the income is here.
Oh,
All right, no,
boy.
actually, Zerg's income is still way above Terran's.
It's almost 3 times.
Damn, okay.
Well,
For some reason, I thought it was going to be lower. Go ahead.
A lot of Vikings still out here. I mean, if the Infestors didn't exist, I'd give MVP, a tiny chance to be able to out-micro to such a degree to kill all this. But with those Infestors, one fungal growth gets off, and then the second one's getting off, and the Corruptors just clean up everything. They've got way better upgrades. He's going on 3-2 right now, in fact.
All right, he lands over here, but there's already Zerglings there. I think Curious at this point in time knows he's won, but he knows that MVP is a pretty ferocious Terran.
Well, you've got to make sure, man. You have to make sure.
Yeah, especially in this case, because MVP's basically got the best decision-making, generally speaking. Maybe not today, but generally speaking, oh my god, he's going to get this orbital. Well, and things are looking more and more and more hopeless right now for MVP.
Oh, and it blows up. All right, and he does take out a base.
That base. That's something, guys. The question is, there's this inevitable push coming here. And let me rephrase that. Curious has this army that just will not die.
Yes.
It just cannot actually be killed.
Yes, he absolutely cannot. MVP barely mining, still almost on the supply down.
I'm actually a bit shocked that Curious is not just, in this case, well, very nice fungals over there. It's not just attacking the Terran. What is the Terran going to do? Go into the Zerg's main and kill every single structure with the Hellions? No. No, Artosis, that's a dumb idea. You don't tell me that.
You know what? I thought it was a good idea, and as soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew I was wrong.
Yeah. Sorry, Artosis.
That was silly of me.
All right, so we're sort of just waiting right now, guys. The game should be won by Curious. It's Curious's game to lose. MVP kind of knows this attack is coming and sort of trying to get the best possible position. Curious now spreading out his Broodlords.
There's actually a Raven on the way. And that Raven, you might be thinking, what is that Raven for? Point defense drone to use against Corruptors. But it's not going to be in time. Here we go! And Fungal gets off, and that's all that he needed. Goodbye.
And now this game is over. Expect GG any second as these Broodlords spill in to MVP's base. Well,
wowzers.
MVP is just not playing well again today.
Dude, he's not winning.
Yeah.
He's 0-3 so far, man. He's one game from going to Code A.
I don't know what to say, really. I'm
that game
really
against
surprised.
Curious must have made him furious.
Ooh. It's because his mouth isn't open when he's playing. How's the Baleen nerd supposed to catch?
Maybe he's like a reptile. He's
Krill
like
nerds.
A crocodile letting the heat out of his mouth or something?
Maybe.
Or wait, that's not what they do. That was stupid. I'm dumb.
No, it's okay. You could have said that. Nobody would have known.
No, people would probably already.
There'd be that one guy who would like Google it and be like, I'd like tell you on Twitter. And you'd be like,
Everyone tells me every time I'm wrong, Tasteless. And oftentimes when I'm right as well.
I can't believe MVP is playing this poorly.
Well, here, hold on
yeah,
1 second,
please.
Because, I mean, it's not the MVP we're used to where he just crushes everyone, but his group is playing fantastically. Alive is playing some of the best games I've ever seen him play. Curious just played extremely well in that game. And Gumiho played astounding TVTs against MVP.
Yeah, but still, I mean, MVP's just, this is like not what I'm used to seeing from MVP.
No, that's true.
I'm used to MVP actually like, turning on his smoke machine and his strobe light and running around the room with a knife stabbing nerds. That's what I'm used to.
Yes, that's what I'm used to.
Actually, MVP even looks a little bit not comfortable. I'm trying to find a fancier word, but I don't know what he's
Well, he can't be comfortable one game from Code A.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, the next map is going to be Antigua Shipyard. Curious against MVP. Oddly enough, MVP not winning a game so far today. He's one game away from going to Code A. Are we going to see the unthinkable? We very well could.
Are we going to feel the unfeelable? Are we going to see the unseeable? Are we going to taste the untasteable? Tasteless.
Well, you're definitely going to get that. You definitely at least get that here at the GSL Codas. So let's see if MVP can overcome his slump today, or if he's going to sink down into Code A and no longer be a part of the GSL Codas.